Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Byakuya Togami did not do it, though. Or did he?
Then the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it!
But there's no way he would have been that clumsy, though. He wouldn't have been that clumsy.
The adorable glasses man was behind it all! Oh, I'm on fire!
Even Genocide Jill's obsessed with the man.
Well, Byakuya, what's your response? I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
And the locker rooms. They're suspicious. Very suspicious indeed, wouldn't you agree? Suspicious. It seems nobody searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
But we didn't know there was a body in there yet.
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
I will defeat you in one-on-one combat, Byakuya Togami. There's a clear contradiction in what Byakuya just said. I need to make it clear to everyone. I'm still learning, alright. Let's just take a second to appreciate that look on Genocide Jill's face. Now, next we're going to add something called a truth flashback. If you aim at a weak spot and hold down the left mouse button, then you'll memorize that weak spot. This memorized phrase can only be shot once as a truth bullet. If you shoot or change the truth bullet, it will disappear from your truth cylinder. However, you can use this flashback feature as many times as you want. If you don't seem to have the answer to a lie or contradiction in your loaded truth bullets, it might be wise to memorize a different weak spot and use that to make that your case. When's the best time for a flashback? Well, you'll just have to use your keen wits, won't you? In this case, though, I will say that if you don't use a flashback, you won't be refuting anything. Good luck, have fun. Oh, so I can... Wait. That's what Chihiro's thing's for!
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before
Hold on.
he found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it!
Wrong.
That's a natural reaction for any guy! The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl.
Wrong! Or maybe right. No, well, I mean, you're... Shut up!
I'll tell you what's so strange about that. Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit.
Why, thank you.
Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
How is it, Mr. Byakuya Togami?
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead, show us.
What's with Byakuya's attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. I've got him cornered, but he's acting like it has nothing to do with him.
What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
Differences between this case and other Genocide Jack murders. The evidence that proves Byakuya is responsible is hidden in there? What could it be? The fact that it was in the girls' locker room. That makes all the difference.
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that.
Oh.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
Oh, I messed up.
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
Oh, wait.
Obviously,
Dang it!
somebody else must have had it hidden away somewhere.
I missed. Hold on.
The difference between the case. You want me to explain? When I want to kill, I use those same scissors.
Chihiro, it was some kind of...
That's right. Then there must be some...
Hey, Byakuya, I'd never seen that.
that rope before in my life.
No, that's wrong. Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Indeed.
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
Is he really trying to make this more interesting? Is that what he's doing? He is making himself a giant red herring. For the sole purpose of entertainment.
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
He's doing it again. He's totally calm, totally unconcerned. As if he's not even involved. Wait, not even involved?
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
Not so fast, Mondo.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
No, that's wrong.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Huh? Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
No, we have not decided anything, friend.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you?
Your goddamn attitude. Now shut it.
I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Wait. What was that just now? Something's not right. Byaku's remarks just now, there's something in there that concerns me. The scene of the crime.
I got it! You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing.
What?
What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown. She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that.
Found dead, yes.
How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene?
We finally threw him off. We finally surprised him.
That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
Hey Byakuya, did I just take you off guard? I took the Byakuya Togami down a peg. When the story suddenly moved to the crime scene, Byakuya, who'd been so confident up until now, maybe Byakuya never even realized that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Hey, don't just move on without permission. What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Permission to move on? Granted. By who? Myself.
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
The posters! Because also, one of them had blood on it.
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
Indeed.
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange?
Not to the lesbians.
Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
That's not the point I'm trying to make, Toko, but okay.
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
Unless it's for Taka.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
Not just the posters.
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you? Protein coffee? While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No, it's not that the stain was scrubbed away. It was moved. Yes, this one.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Hold on. Did we take pictures of this? Or did I just, like, bring down a stained carpet with me?
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To be convincing.
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think? What? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
That's what I can't figure out.
Huh?
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place? To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
You're wrong, but you're also right.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
Go ahead, tell me.
I highly doubt that.
Not even people in the game believe in this man.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Is he right? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow? Indeed.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I've got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook!
Not really.
She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Ah, dang it. I screwed up. Huh, okay. I screwed up. The broken handbook was Leon's.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really...
She must have hacked. She was the ultimate. I'm sure that would have.
No, I don't. She used the thing. Huh?
What then?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
Yep.
No, that's wrong.
You know, every time I think I've got it, I actually don't.
No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
Indeed.
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Regulation against loaning it.
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup. Hit the nail square on the noggin.
Hi, Monokuma. I forgot you were here.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
Wrong.
You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook...
Oh my god. She used her own. Or... he used his... Oh my god, Chihiro was a guy this whole time. And he felt bad about being so weak, so he wanted to get stronger.
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
Shut up, Taka. Is that it then? Chihiro was killed in the girls' locker room and Byakuya's the one who did it? Really? But still, I don't know what else I can do.
Hold on a second. I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
Did you really look up his skirt?
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So...
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
What?
What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Can we just do that?
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
I actually agree with Monokuma. Is that even allowed?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
Oh.
For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
Sure. But where are we going? So before I even knew what was happening, the class trial has been put on hold. We headed off with Kyoko in the lead. And where she took us was... the crime scene.
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom. What are you trying to pull, Missy?
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time.
You want to check it again?
Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Examine her carefully.
Not you. You're not...
Like using our hands?
You're not allowed.
No way!
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just... based on religious grounds, you know?
Alright, Big Mac. Put on the big boy pants.
Very well. I'll do it.
Thank you, Sakura, for having more balls than all the guys in here combined.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Sakura.
What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about?
Yep.
That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Putting her hands together in a brief prayer, Sakura then began to quietly examine the body.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this...
I was right. I was right!
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
Calm down, All Might. Sakura's eyes were staring wildly at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled.
This girl is
what?
a boy!
Ah, I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact.
What?
You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
She touched the big peen.
Then it's really true?
Chihiro was a guy?
Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
He was a cross-dresser? Oh, no, I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
At this point, so do I.
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting.
Speaking of which, we never actually figured out what you were the ultimate version of.
Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial. Ahem. I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial.
That is insane.
We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Okay.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
To think that Chihiro was actually a guy. The thought had never even crossed my mind. It didn't for me either until like just a few seconds before everyone else figured it out.
And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room.
You know, Kyoko's just like letting me figure it out, and if I run into a problem, she's just there like, hold on, wait. I've got your back, Big Mac.
And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
Indeed.
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd.
But you didn't. The great Byakuya Togami, family of the Secret Council, had no idea.
I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is the most titillating situation!
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
Indeed.
He's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
Not a chance.
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Indeed.
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy. If you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Mark it as correct?
So he's been the red herring this whole time.
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
That's still fucked up.
Are you fucking with us right now?
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
This is a murder school with a stuffed bear. You're legally allowed to say the fuck word, okay?
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say? Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
Have you not been paying attention at all, my guy?
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility. Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Yes!
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Obviously not.
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
That's true.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
Yes, we shall, Byakuya Togami. Yes, we shall. But if Byakuya didn't do it, then who's the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? There's one thing we can be sure of that we know about the killer. The killer is a guy.
I got it!
Since the crime scene was the boys' locker room, you would need a boys' handbook to get in. Since Leon's broken and no other guy has died, it had to have been a guy. But still not enough. I need to find some more clues. Alright.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
I don't think so.
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at
Oh.
some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah.
All we need right now is any kind of new info.
Oh, what? Come on, Makoto, don't scare me like that. It makes me think something weird's going on. Dang it.
Shoot!
Oh, dang it, okay. No, I need to find contradictions.
Single clue? Well, did nobody get... I'm sure if someone saw the...
Perhaps someone saw the victim. Yeah.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer.
Wrong!
No, that's wrong!
I'm glad it gives me 5 minutes to figure everything out.
I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this.
Makoto.
The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse.
And what were you doing in there anyway?
I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
Hmm? Well, I'd better be going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
Oh.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
I hereby clear Hifumi of this crime because there's no way he exercises.
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much. Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
What a marvelous friendship!
The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
Look, your smug grin makes me happy, but I think I know what you're talking about.
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
I do.
Seriously?
Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that?
I am.
You really think we can figure out who did it based on 2 pieces of evidence that we don't have?
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say, but fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket?
I swear. Hold on.
The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
You already know everything. Does Chihiro's track jacket really hold some clue about the killer? Somehow it's really hard to believe. I think I know who the killer is, though.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because...
Because?
It matched the one the culprit was wearing!
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
You...
My tracksuit is black.
Wait.
I don't even have a
I
tracksuit.
just missed it.
'Cause
I
exercising
missed it, but it was so obvious. And it just confirms everything for me.
I got it from
You heard him, right?
I heard it and it confirms my
First of all, if he
suspicion.
was on his
I
way so
knew it.
next, why did he
It's
choose to
Mondo.
I got it! It matched the one...
So, the killer was wearing the same...
We never said what the color was. It's
No,
Mondo.
it's wrong.
Mondo killed Chihiro.
Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said...
I saw him stuffing a track jacket into the duffel bag. But she didn't say what color it
She never
was.
said anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you... You just...
Hey, Celeste. What color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
That's wrong.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died! That's the only possibility!
Cherry?
Cherry? Are you talking about Chihiro?
Wait, are you just trying to name us all after food items?
So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
He had a duffel bag.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony,
She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. Just like that, she was gone.
when Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew he did it, to put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
I didn't, actually, until you said they had a strong trust with them. Until Celeste said that, I had no idea. But the only one who he really trusted, other than me, was Mondo.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question.
Because I hate him. The way he was acting. Oh.
There was a certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick. And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude. Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
He did say that, didn't he?
You notice such a tiny detail?
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
Burn her at the stake.
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
And murdering a person who trusts you.
Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah! He would never do something like that! This is a false accusation!
Oh, Taka, I'm so sorry.
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come.
Hifumi's gonna save the day?
That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you'd found some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence?
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Tell us.
Jeez, does your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then... here it is.
You found Chihiro's handbook?
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
You found it on the ground, right? Then it must belong to Chihiro.
I got it! We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
But you can't break any handbook.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall.
With enough force.
For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
Hitting its weak point.
I got it! You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
You remember that?
Yes, I do, and I'm surprised.
Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession, then...
Then we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
You're asking me?
We are.
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just tell us already! Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example?
Cross my heart, hope to die, except I don't, because I'm gonna live.
Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break!
The sauna.
I flippin' knew it!
You knew it?
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna.
Sauna!
The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Interesting. I learned one new fact today.
Same here, but that's not the point of this investigation.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
Meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
Wait. The handbook that Mondo has isn't his. When he went into the sauna, he broke his and replaced it with Leon's. Oh my god! And I know it couldn't have been Taka because he had his shirt off.
What if they found out by accident?
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that?
I know.
I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I might know someone who did.
Whoa, seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
Yep. Could have only been one person. Hey, buddy.
Here's my answer. Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What?
Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember?
I remember.
And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
I mean, I don't want to believe it either, but if I found something that proves it beyond a shadow of a doubt. What is it? Although I should know, shouldn't I? Oh, yeah.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
No, it does not. Because that is Leon's.
Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall, isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own.
That's exactly correct.
After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's.
Indeed.
Which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's. Yeah.
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
Borrowing.
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch. What's wrong, bro? Come on, tell him he's wrong. You are wrong. You have to be wrong.
Taka, I'm so sorry for you.
Everything you just said is wrong. You made it all up.
Wait, do I have to play that game with Taka?
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning. That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
Alright. Alright, Act 1. By the way, I love these little art pieces.
The killer is... you! First, let's take a look back to before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room? Simple, because she was really a he, which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there, and the person he met was the one who killed him. it seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him.
No, I didn't lay out my reasoning right. I need to revamp. Oh, fuck. Okay. Then after that, I think that's right.
And attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. Then, removing the bloody poster, and finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course, but this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem. And that's exactly how the killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch. That could have been the end of things, but no. Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation, making things even more complicated. So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then he got to work.
Which is still fucked
He
up.
used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body.
Oh, dang it. Hold up.
He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter. And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played out. Isn't that right, Mondo Orada?
Wait! No! This can't be right!
Oh, but it is.
Where's your evidence? Yeah! Where's your evidence? You need evidence! You need proof! Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him!
The evidence that Mondo's the killer, that already revealed itself earlier in the trial. All I have to do is check that one item of his and everything will become clear. Let's talk a bit about Fever Time and Nega Time. During a bullet time battle, if you press the space key, Fever Time will activate and the tempo will be forced to its max. At this point, even if you push the buttons at random, you won't miss. So you can push right mouse button, left mouse button, however you want to destroy the evidence of verbal assault. But this only lasts until your focus gauge runs out, so make the best possible use of your time. Of course, it wouldn't be fair if only you got access to special time, right? So we've also prepared something called Nega Time that your opponent can use. If the opponent activates Nega Time during the bullet time battle, your tempo marker will disappear, making it quite a bit tougher to hit the buttons in the rhythm. If you were to activate Fever Time at this point, No, nothing. Never mind. I'm sure nothing would happen. I don't know what I was worried about. Unsurprisingly, okay. So the best possible time to use fever time would be during nega time.
Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. False. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence.
Okay. I suck at this game. Not at all. Okay.
Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. False. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. False.
Final strike.
Show me some evidence.
This should prove it.
You know, these aren't actually as hard as I thought.
If my thinking so far is right, Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that, we'll...
We don't gotta do that.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I did it. I killed him.
The truth comes out. Pretty much the same as last time.
Bro, what are you saying?
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just... give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that.
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting, no holding on. Time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Grab your lever and give it a yank! Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
He's gonna vote in favor of him.
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Taka, I'm sorry, man.
What?
Uh-oh, this time it looks like you got it right again. Yes, it is so. The Blackened that killed Chihiro Fujisaki was... Mondo Wada! In case you're wondering, the vote was not unanimous. Kiyotaka chose the wrong answer. You're treading very close to the danger zone, Mr. Ishimaru. You need to be more careful. I refuse to believe it. There's no way. No way he would kill someone.
Sorry.
What is this?
Why are you apologizing? Why? Why? Why did you do it?
Now then.
Well, looks like Mondo's taken a vow of silence, so allow me to explain on his behalf.
Actually...
The story of the murder this time is the sad story of two men. Oh, but for anyone who doesn't really want to hear it, you can hit the control key to fast forward the text. I won't. Anyway, there was once a young boy, and his name was Chihiro Fujisaki. He had an extreme inferiority complex regarding his own lack of strength. You're so weak even though you're a boy. He'd heard things like that as long as he could remember, and he couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide and bury himself further and further into that weakness, to take on the fragile form of a petite young girl. He had chosen that as his way out. Now nobody will be able to see anything even though you're a boy. But no matter how tightly he wrapped himself in the shell, the inferiority complex had already taken root deep inside of him and was not so easily weeded out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear. Instead, it only grew stronger and stronger. I'm weak.
Weak, 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 weak.
Once the killing game had begun here at the school, he had no choice but to accept that fact. After all, this world is survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. Which of course included Chihiro's embarrassing secret, which I was more than willing to divulge. Even though he dresses like a girl, Chihiro is actually a boy.
Hey,
And that was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack, the armor would fall away. Without a doubt, those around him would torture him more than ever before. Everyone figured being thrust into such a dilemma must have sent him into spiraling despair.
what?
And yet,
I'm sorry,
I don't really want to talk about it right now.
but...
But I also don't want to leave things the way they are, so maybe I can talk about it later. After I try my best to become strong, then I can tell everybody. Annoyingly, he used the threat of discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
That's right.
Now's my chance.
I want to change.
I'm going to get stronger and accept who I am. Strong enough so that when someone says, even though you're a boy, I'll be okay. I'll get better. With that thought at the front of his mind, he resolved to take immediate action. And so, that day he made the commitment to begin exercising. He was prepared to retrain his mind and body. But sadly, that would be the first and only chance he would get at it.
Hey,
When he decided to start exercising, he thought it would be good to ask for someone's help. But he wanted to tell that person his secret first, and then ask them to help them from there. And the person he went to was...
Yeah, that's right.
It was me. Yep, sure was! The biker gang fella had been painfully clear about how important his manly promises were. So Chihiro probably figured that even if he confided in Mondo, his honor would make him keep the secret. Plus, Mr. Macho Mondo was a very symbol of a strong man that Chihiro had always aspired to. Maybe talking to Mondo about it will give me some courage. So he went and asked Mondo to help him become strong. That was his aspiration. And he thought that only with Mondo's support would he ever be able to come close to that.
Correct.
So then that must be why Mondo did what he did. To keep the promise he made to Chihiro. Huh? Did what he did? You mean, that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room to the girls'?
Indeed.
Yep, that's exactly what I mean. Wasn't that to cover up what he'd done?
Certainly.
That could have been part of it, but I don't think it was the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promise between men he'd made to Chihiro. But how does moving the body keep a secret?
Because
Because if everyone knew he'd been killed in the boys' locker room, then everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have immediately begun to suspect his identity. So, he tried to protect Chihiro's secret by putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his handbook, see? Then, Mondo did all that to keep the promise he'd made Chihiro? Who he also killed. Why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trusted each other, right? So why? Why did you... Because no matter what, I didn't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
So that's what triggered it after all. The possibility of having your embarrassing memories and secrets exposed?
What is this?
It's impossible. Nothing could have been that bad. Something that he didn't want anyone to know, even if it meant killing someone?
You're wrong!
It's impossible!
Don't make me repeat myself.
To judge others by your own standards is the height of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, he obviously can. That's all there is to it. While we're on the subject, why don't I tell you? That embarrassing memory, that secret he didn't want anyone to know.
Hey,
You know what Mondo did? He killed his own brother. What? Mondo, the ultimate biker gang leader, makes all the hoodlums and riffraff across the country tremble. But the only reason he had the chance to join a gang in the first place was because of a certain someone. Mondo's older brother, and his name was Daya Owada. Mondo had nothing but respect for him. It was because of Daya that Mondo ever got a motorcycle. Mondo's brother was the only family growing up. He was the only one Mondo could trust or respect. He wanted to measure up to his big brother, so he imitated him in everything he did. Mondo was the epitome of the starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang. And before anyone knew it, it had grown into the biggest biker gang in the country. Daya, the older brother, number 1 in the gang, and his number 2, his younger brother Mondo. In the beginning, everything was peaches and gravy. But when Mondo started to think about how he would have to take over the gang from his brother someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation, began to gnaw on Mondo's very soul. The kid's gonna take over for Daya, huh? Daya created this gang with his bare hands. Mondo's just along for the ride. Can someone like that really be our leader? All that'll do is make the gang look bad. Almost every day, Mondo heard the gossip and whispers of the other members of the gang. Which is why...
I
gotta get stronger. I gotta get stronger. Stronger than Daya. Once. Just one time. No matter what, I gotta win.
Don't fuck with me.
I don't care what it takes, I gotta come out on top. And on the night of his brother's amazing retirement ceremony, Mondo challenged him to a street race. But during the race, tragedy struck. The kid brother pushed ahead with his reckless abandon, eager for victory, and dashed into oncoming traffic. But suddenly... laying in his kid brother's arms, the older brother delivered his final words. "My bad, kid. I fucked up. Sorry." Of course he knew it was his brother's fault, but Daya never blamed him for what happened. "Hey kid, the rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. 'Cause it's the team you and me put together. It's a promise between men." He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang, in order to keep the gang together and keep the promise to his brother. He could never admit to anyone that it was his own weakness that caused the accident. And as a result, the team was made even stronger under the banner of the kid who bested his big brother. Daya was going to lose to this kid brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed. That became the explanation for what happened. Mondo's lie became the truth. He wanted to lead the team so bad, he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother. I'm strong. Strong. And yet, as soon as our killing game began, he realized, no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in an instant. And then the hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. At that point, it was clear I would have no problem shedding light on his secret. Mondo killed his own older brother. No matter what, I couldn't let the other gang members find out. If that happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had worked to create would have been destroyed. His death, all the guilt I'd been carrying around, it would have been for nothing. So that's why. Mondo. After I saw what Monokuma had on me, my head filled up with a kind of fuzzy unease and just started swirling around. I'd never felt anything like it before. I didn't know what to do about it. I wasn't sure what to think or say, but after a while that fuzzy uneasiness turned itself into a rock-hard lump of anxiety way down in my stomach. And it was right around then that Chihiro asked me to start working out with him. And right there, he told me a secret. Seriously? Jesus.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry I lied to you. But why? Why now? Why are you telling me this all of a sudden?
Huh?
Because, I mean, you kept the secret all that time, right? If anyone found out, you would...
But...
You're right, but...
I want to change.
I wrap myself in lies. I'm weak. I want to destroy that version of me forever. His words were like a knife in my gut. I felt like he was exposing the lie I'd been living myself. I have to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. You're so strong it can't hurt you, right? Whatever secret Monokuma might tell us.
You piece of...
So what? You're saying I should just say it?
What?
You're saying if I really am, I should just be able to tell everyone my secret?
Huh?
I was jealous. I was jealous of Chihiro's strength. He had the strength to face his own weakness, try and overcome it. It was the kind of strength I'd never had. So I was jealous of him. And that jealousy broke me.
What?
Are you making fun of me? I'm strong? Are you fucking with me right now?
No!
I'm not making fun of you. You really are strong, Mondo. I felt like I could hear something started to creak. Something inside my head. What did he want me to do? What was I supposed to do? Was I just supposed to sit back, let my secret get revealed, and ruin everything?
What's wrong?
Why did you have to tell me all that? Are you trying to rub my failure in my face? No, I just
wanted to...
I really admire you. I admire your strength.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. I am strong. Strong. I'm strong. Strong, 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 strong. Stronger than you.
You son of a...
And stronger than Daya. I don't remember anything after that. When I woke up again, he was lying at my feet covered in blood. I had the dumbbell in my hand and was just staring at him down on the ground.
I killed him. I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Mondo. He was normally so aggressive, so angry. He hid that weak side away from everyone. That was his weakness, or his secret. A weakness that, like that, lived in the heart of his, and it turned him cold-blooded. God damn it! Look at him, you see? You're all just like him. For a secret from the past, for a memory. For that, he killed another living being in cold blood. He couldn't cut free of his regrets from the outside world. He doesn't know what true strength is. Do you see hope anywhere in there? Because I sure don't. You bastard. Just shut up, you son of a bitch. Go ahead, say that again, I dare you.
Yep.
Okay, I'll say it as many times as I want. Is what I want to say, but... Unfortunately, I can't do that right now, because the time for punishing is fast approaching. Punishing?
It can't be.
You mean execution? Well, that's what I promised you, right? The blackened that disturbs the peace will be punished.
Ridiculous.
Hold on.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
Oh no.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
Mondo's just accepting it.
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
Mondo butter? Fuck. Laugh at death and your soul will forever be at peace. It can't be. My brother. Another murder and another execution. I want to feel again. Everyone's lives are taken so lightly here. I feel like I might be going mad. Maybe I'll just let it happen. As Taka's sad screams invaded our skulls, we were each forced to realize once again. But of course he had to. What a disappointment. This is the end of the game? Byakuya?
What is this?
You're completely insane, you know that? A game? One of her friends is dead. Do you not realize that?
Naturally.
Of course I do, because this game is life or death.
Hey,
I don't have anything to say to you. I don't have a response except that
however,
I just don't understand why. Why do you go out of your way to disguise Mondo's crime?
What?
Why? Isn't it obvious? Because it made things more interesting. I knew it! His voice was calm, emotionless, like the voice of death. It chilled me to the bone. Last night when the murder took place, I was in the library as usual.
Honestly.
So you ignored the nighttime rule too. That rule never mattered to me. I don't recall agreeing to it.
There is nothing.
Well, I don't particularly care. Please continue. The night grew late, and I decided to return to my room, which is when I stumbled upon him. I spotted Mondo coming out of the girls' locker room. After he'd gone, I looked inside and saw the corpse. What? You mean you actually witnessed the murder? He was such a fool. He didn't have the slightest idea that I'd seen him.
Well...
So you're saying you knew who the culprit was from the very beginning?
That's right.
Indeed. But if that had been the end of it, how boring would that have been? Well, I mean, what a waste of time to have the answer revealed right at the beginning. Which is why I decided to lend a little helping hand. I thought it would liven things up. You did all that to liven things up?
I see.
So after hearing about Genocide Jack from Toko, you decided to use that to create the fake murder scene? But damn, man, if we hadn't figured out who'd really done it, you would have been dead too, right? Well, obviously I would have revealed the truth before it reached that point. Of course. Byakuya turned and looked me in the eye. I could feel his sharp eyes piercing into me. Thanks to a certain remarkable someone, it never did. And I was able to perform an interesting experiment. Once I do decide to become Blackened, I now know who I have to watch out for. What?
Correct.
So that was your reason. Are you satisfied?
Indeed.
Yes, we're done listening to your story. Moving on.
Hey,
There's something I'd like to ask Monokuma.
What's this?
Oh, I'm up next.
you...
You like to perform these elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is, why? Do you like them? But you know, this punishment, this despair, it's not just for you. All this punishment, all despair is my gift to mankind itself.
What?
You're over-exaggerating. I'm not over-exaggerating. These punishments are meant to transform all hope to despair.
Damn.
What do you mean? 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 Mean?
What the
Mean? Good grief, I don't understand why you have to pick apart every little stupid thing. Whatever, doesn't matter. In the end, I'm going to stand alone as the victor, and then everything will be revealed to me. Ah, the noble son of a noble family. Truly, you understand me. I think this is the start of a terrifying friendship.
That's enough.
Shut up. I would never stoop to the level of a childish criminal like you. Let me just say this. After I have achieved complete victory, you're up next. I'm going to find you and kill you, understand?
In the name of my family.
For which victory is a foregone conclusion.
You're getting all
Oh, so
riled up.
cool. It's like you're the main character of a video game or something. No trash mob for you. I swear, whatever it takes, I'll kill you. Temper. Sounds like someone needs a nap. So, Byakuya Togami is also as riled up about this as we are. Monokuma's laughter peeled across the courtroom, and the curtain closed on the case of Chihiro and Mondo. But I knew that wasn't the end. The killing game would still continue, because the mastermind wouldn't let it end. For those of us who were still alive, our worst fear and despair kept multiplying. It was the kind of despair that felt like a blind puppy in hell had more future than us. All of our courage, our friendship, our effort, it felt like it amounted to nothing at all. It was the worst kind of despair.
Well, anyway, like I was saying, this is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot.
What?
Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stopping it. Fear and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part.
What?
You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now, so just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay?
What?
After all, that's what everyone wants to see.
There's one thing I'd like to ask you.
As long as you don't want to know my measurements, fire away.
Who is it? The 16th high school student, I mean.
Ooh. My, you really took me by surprise there. I know I said you could ask anything, but... Super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied! Because you see, that's my ace in the hole. And nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friends.
What? What? Ten people left. From 15. You received the Crazy Diamond present.
I know I shouldn't cry, but I've had enough. I can't take it anymore. Getting out of here anytime soon, it's impossible. I can't let myself think about how much I want to get out of here. If I keep thinking like that, I might decide to.
Donuts. I need to eat some donuts. That'll cheer me up. Glazed donuts, twisty donuts, jelly donuts, cream-filled donuts, donut holes, malasadas.
Okay.
Oh god of donuts, I'm praying for a wonderful encounter. I'm sorry. Please forgive me for breaking the nighttime rule. But right now, for me, donuts are absolutely necessary. What?
Huh?
What?
Huh?
What's that sound? It sounds like it's coming from the bathhouse.
But...
I'm super scared, but... Is someone there? What? What? What?